Alrighty guys, a very warm welcome to another video. So on the weekend we had Sam Long taking out the men's race at Ironman 70.3 Indian Wells. We also had Paula Findlay taking out the female race at Ironman 70.3 Indian Wells, and we're going to do a little bit of a data analysis on Paula's bike and run. So just for some context for her overall race, she won by around 46 seconds in front of Tamara Jewett, and that was good for a 25-minute 44 swim, second out the water, a 2 hour 16:08 bike, the fastest overall bike time of the day by a substantial amount of time, and a 1:20:07 run for the third fastest run of the day. However, Tamara Jewett ran like a 1:14 odd and was closing her down very, very quickly, to the extent of almost bringing back 30 seconds every mile. So it ended up being quite close. Paula had a bit of a kick at the end to kind of, maintain that distance, but there was a time period where it was almost looking like she could be in a little bit of, not strife, but could be getting, some challenge for the win. So nonetheless, let's have a look at the ride, and this is good because Paula's uploaded her data or Strava, her bike and run to the Strava, and it's always good to go through all of this and have a look at the splits and have a look at the pace. Unfortunately, there's no heart rate or power data, so it's a little bit disappointing on that side of things, but nonetheless, we can get a good grasp of how well she went overall from looking at the speed, cadence, etc. So total distance 89.85 kilometers from moving time of 2 hours 16:37. This is just her data. It doesn't reflect the official race results. Obviously, there'll be some slight variation there. So speed 39.5 kilometers per hour, very fast, and this gave her an over 6-minute lead heading into transition 2 for the run, almost 7-minute lead, I believe, in the realm of 6-7 minutes. And very, very impressive bike. She was looking very smooth out on the bike course and really couldn't be challenged at all on the bike. Established her lead very quickly after the swim and just maintained it the whole way. So cadence 79 average, max 93 calories, 1,872 calories. We can't read too much into this because of the heart rate and power data lacking. Temperature 11 degrees Celsius, so quite cold out there on the bike course itself. And we can have a look down to the bike course, and obviously this is the course here, and then the course profile. And like we saw in Sam's, obviously it's the exact same course where we have this net kind of downhill all the way through halfway, and then net uphill coming back. And we see, actually we'll go to the analysis, and we can kind of overlay different segments and have a look at the elevation profile and compare that with speed, cadence, and temperature. Is not really going to matter all so much. So what's interesting is obviously because of this net downhill in the first 45 kilometers, we go through 45 kilometers here, or if we kind of go halfway, it'll be about 44.9 as per her data. Let's try and get the figure on it. So about 105. So she's gone through in about 105. And we have a look and follow the speed through. Max. I think her max speed probably would have been higher than this, but average speed 39.7, and we can follow that through, and she's sitting obviously well over 40 kilometers an hour. So I think it works out that she probably averaged about 42 kilometers an hour through that first half of the bike course. And then obviously, coming back up, this kind of falls flat here, and then more of a, significant, not in any stretch of the imagination to climb, but, 0.5%, 1% gradient, kind of just gradually making your way back up that falls flat back to the transition 2. And this is obviously where the speed was kind of falling a bit under 40 kilometers an hour, 37s, 38s, back into T2. Overall, a very, very impressive bike, or to average 39.5 kilometers an hour in the female field is an exceptional bike course or bike ride, and really set up her race for a good performance. So we can go now to the run, and this is where it got a little bit more interesting because by no stretch of the imagination did Paula have a bad run. She had the 3rd overall fastest run of the day, but, you know, a great swim, second out the water, first off the bike by a mile, and then, you know, probably paid for it a little bit on the run course. So her actual data itself obviously didn't start it exactly maybe at the start or at the finish, or stop it exactly at the finish, but we're losing about 1 kilometer here of the run, but that's fine. And moving time, so based on what we've recorded from her, because we know her overall run time was around 120, not 117, but, you know, averaging 3:51 per kilometer pace, burning 8 beers. So again, I'm sure she will enjoy each and every one of those 8 beers after the finish. And elevation on the run course was a lot more significant than the bike course, especially the format of the run, where it was up and down hills absolutely all day, and then a little bit warmer 16 degrees Celsius temperature for the run as they kind of got a bit later into the day. So obviously we see the pace here, which is this blue line, and it's going up and down, and you know, pretty much the whole day. And so will the cadence will kind of reflect that as well, as we go up and down these little pinch climbs through the golf course. And then when we got back onto the roads, there was some climbing as well, up and down basically all day. So, you know, very tough run course. She's gone out a 3:40, 4 minute, 3:48, 3:41. So going through 10Ks, we can have a look. Well, actually, we'll go through, you know, 10 point, you know, about 10 and a half or 10.6. That's close on halfway. We go through there in around 41 minutes. However, I don't know exactly when she started the run and whatnot. So even just going through halfway here, that's going to give us the halfway point. So that's about there. So 38 minutes. And, you know, based on that, we can say pretty even split for the run. And we did see Paula for sure pick it up, especially coming back up, you know, this climb here and then all the way through the finish. She definitely lifted the pace and had something left in the tank, which was really good to see. And we can see that in the last, you know, 5 odd kilometers here. So there was a few kilometers in here where, like, for example, she's done a, what's it say, 4 minute, 8 second kilometer. Then there's a 4:01. Then there's another 4 minutes. And this is where Tamara Jewett was really kind of closing the pace. But then obviously picking it up very, very quickly at the end. And the last few Ks was a 3:51, 3:41. And this is coming back up, I believe, the climb as well. So very, very impressive, 3:40 and then 3:30 pace to finish. So absolutely flying. So really good to see. And again, I'll link her STRAVA data if anyone wants to go check it out with the analysis. We've got a little bit more information in here. But again, without the heart rate, without power on the bike, it's definitely hard to tell. But nonetheless, very impressive performance by Paula Findlay. And yeah, overall, very strong, very dominant performance. However, you know, still was challenged very heavily by Tamara Jewett. And that's always good to see. It's always good to see good races, good competition. But I'm sure Paula will be extremely stoked, especially after a second place at the Ironman 70.3 World Championships. When was that? That was a fair few weeks back now. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. Not as much data as the previous one, but nonetheless, good oversight into the overall pace and general performance on the day, and very, very impressive from Paula Findlay and all the girls out there who competed on the weekend. So thanks, guys. Take care. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you in the next video.